David Skidoosh Andrews, or just Skidoosh, if you will, knows all the big names in the hobby, personally, pretty much. He has been in the hobby for a long time, and he's kind of a big name himself, though I don't think he would be willing to admit that. We talk a lot about what it takes to make it in this hobby, what kind of dedication it takes to actually turn this into something other than just a hobby, and what it's like to troll the trollers, among other things. I hope you all enjoy it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Everybody enters this, and I feel like everybody that starts FPV, or not everybody, but quite a few people that start FPV are like, I want this to become my job, or I want to be sponsored, or I want to be YouTube famous, right? Or I think what a lot of people don't realize is that, yeah, like, it's awesome. We get to fly, we get to do these amazing things, but there's all this work that goes into everything I just mentioned, right? Whether it's be in the industry and do stuff, or be a sponsored pilot when you do prototyping, or do something on YouTube that gains attention, but like, nobody sees all the work that goes into the background.
Yeah. Like Trappy with Tango too, and people dicing him up,
I
messaged him too, because I'm in production too, and him and I are pretty close,
Yeah.
Because I've seen this thing. He had the first prototype of that thing like over 2 years ago. He showed me the first prototype of that thing.
Yeah.
People don't realize how much he's put into that, and he knows what I do too, and we talk all the time. And I get the same thing. I'll develop a product and send it over, and then my guys in America are like, "Oh, can we change this? Can we move that?" Right. Well, no, because then I got to change the whole thing.
Right.
Look, it's my product. If you don't like it, just get another one.
I messaged Trappy the night that the Tango 2 came out, and it was just a complete, and once again, it's on the polarizing thing. I mean, some people got upset, some people didn't. Some people were telling jokes and got upset at the jokes, and at some point, like, I had been trying. This will have already happened by the time this comes out, but like, a lot of the folks here in America are real concerned about the FAA. There's not a lot of clear messaging around it, and so I reached out to Bob Ruge and Bruce and Bardwell, and I said, let's do a live stream, and all of them were like, 100%. Enoch from UFDA crew is going to run the actual stream. I mean, like, this is
so good at that.
Yeah, I'm moderating. I'm not necessarily contributing, but I'm moderating. I'm going to direct the conversation. And I put out this post and people are just shitting all over it because they don't like Bardwell, or they don't like Ruge, or I used my favorite was, in all my links and all the things I put out, I used some of the greatest minds in FPV.
Oh, geez.
People went,
how dare you?
People went freaking ballistic. All they saw was greatest minds, and they were like, you are one arrogant son of a bitch. And I'm just like, I'm trying to put something together here so that we can answer questions and take action. And so when the Tango 2 released, I was just like, I was watching everybody freak out. And then all the polarizing viewpoints came in, and everybody's like, why doesn't it have this? And I just messaged Trappy.
These are people that haven't even touched the thing yet.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
I've held it in my hands, man. All the stuff that they're saying is just not true.
Right.
Like, calm down.
I mean, I remember I was in one group and somebody's like, well, I don't like the clicky sound that it makes when you tap the plastic. Right. And Trappy, God bless him, he jumped all over this guy. And he goes, apparently the guy had watched Bob Ruge's review, and Bob's got the neck strap on. And so, like, you hear the neck strap clicking around, but the guy interpreted it as like the plastic was. Just like, anyways, I messaged Trappy. I mean, I don't have a super great relationship with him, but I just was like, look, dude, like, I see your frustration. I get it. Like, you're trying to do something good for the community, and everybody's freaking out, and it's
absolutely. Well, I can tell you one thing. If you're looking for a soft landing, Trappy's not your guy.
No. Oh my God.
He's just going to tell you straight up what's up.
Oh man. Like he and I mean, there's a few groups that he and I have kind of sparred back and forth in, right? And like, I interviewed him, and I will say that, like, of everybody that I interviewed, his interview was the most business-like, because he's a businessman.
And he's very smart.
And he's very smart. And, we started on time. I told him it would be an hour. We ended on time. He thanked me, and then that was it. And
that's one of the things across the board for me.
Yeah.
Like, I know Drew personally.
Right.
I've flown with Drew. I've hung out with Drew. Stingy, Steele, Chad Capper, Trappy, and I see all these people that jump on these guys, and like they have the little hate group going on and this and that. You don't even know these people.
Right.
You don't even know them. You don't understand how passionate these people are about what they're doing. And like we were just touching on before, how much work goes in behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm an insomniac too. So sometimes Trappy and I are talking to each other at 3 a.m. because he's still working.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just kills me sometimes when I see the comments and the people attacking these people. It's just like, you don't even know them. And that's kind of why, what I said in the beginning about, don't subscribe to my channel because of who I know or who I am or whatever. If you like my content, whatever, but, and like, that's why I never put it out, never pursued, the prototype testing or getting in with that company or releasing my frames or, people loved my frames. People loved my race design frame. They were like, oh my God, I got to have that. And I'm like, I'll give you the files.
Yeah, go cut it. Yeah, I mean, that's been,
idiots.
Everybody
calm down.
The position that I have found myself in is I'll put out a video, and like I literally just talk to people, and I let them tell their story. And there's sometimes that story comes out one-sided, and someone else gets burned. And I've had that happen a few times, and it's not fun, but I feel pretty terrible about what happens to the other side, like the person that gets burned. And I won't name any names, but I'm sure they're probably could go through my channel list and find where people got burned, or you may have spoken to them directly about it. But it's just like, oh man, I just kind of want to look at it. I don't know. I get on my high horse about this all the time. Probably people are sick of hearing of it, but I'm like, sometimes I just want to beat people upside the head and just be like, look, like, I understand that you have a beef or some perceived beef or whatever, but like, just get over it. Like, and I hate to say just go fly, because I think that's the biggest cop out ever. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Like, let's just
take the edge off. Just relax. I mean, it's all. I think a lot of it stems from what you were just talking about, where people, they want to come in and they think they're going to be, pro drone pilot and not have to work, and everybody's going to hand them parts and they got stars in their eyes, and it's all great to have dreams. But the reality of that happening is very, very, very slim, and a ton of work. Like years of commitment to even get close to such a level. You know what I mean? There's a few that get lucky here and there, but I mean, we are such a small community to punch in homemade mousetrap and see. I punched in the other day. I wanted a recipe for some coleslaw. This lady's chopping up cabbage and has 5 million views.
Right? I mean, there's probably what, 200,000 FPV pilots in the world, and maybe not that many active.
Right.
I mean,
so
and then like
tone it down a notch.
and then like you look at somebody like a Rotor Riot or a TBS, or anybody that is manufacturing their own gear in some capacity, whether that's motors or the Tango 2 or whatever. And like, if you start really thinking about the numbers, like, the margins are slim.
Very slim.
The people that are, I mean, and people get pissed off because they've got to pay $25 a motor, or mean, the fact that Trappy could spend what 3 years in development with the Tango 2 and then release one version for $150. I mean,
Mind-boggling.
mind-boggling. Like that should be a $500 controller.
Like there's zero money in frames. See, if you got the Fusion 360 on your computer and you think you're gonna get next greatest frame and become famous and make money off of it, just forget that right now. Just stop it.
Yeah.
If you want to do something for yourself, that's fine. And just this frame right here, right? Just this frame took me about 9 months, out of my own pocket, cutting prototypes, testing them, drawing up different designs. I went to 3 or 4 big expos in Shanghai seeking out the right carbon fiber. One person said, "We have unbreakable carbon fiber." They sent me the prototypes, and it was literally like rubber.
Yeah.
No, it didn't snap.
Oh, it was unbreakable, but it wasn't rigid.
It was unbreakable, all right, but it was also unflyable. Listen,
I seem to have some vibrations
my
in
wings.
Right? Yeah. I mean, and you're right. The people that are working in this industry are not working in it because they're getting rich. They're in it because they're passionate.
Because it's even just everybody's passion, just mine or yours for the freedom of flight. But geez, just be nice to each other, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Who cares? For me, myself, I realized a long time ago that just ain't going to happen. Number one, I'm not that good of a pilot. And number two, I don't want to be about that. I mean, I'm a decent pilot, but I don't want to be that level of commitment. I want to have fun. To me, it's like if you paint, right? Mm-hmm. I'm painting a picture. I'm making a piece of art that I like. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take that painting and I'm going to do my relaxing thing. And if it takes me a month to make the painting the way I want it, that's my painting. Right. And I'm going to put that painting on the wall right here, and I'm going to enjoy my painting. Mm-hmm. Now, if other people walk by and see that painting and go, "Wow, that's a nice painting. Can I take a picture of your painting?" That's my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy my painting too. Mm-hmm. I don't like your painting. Don't look at my painting. It's my painting.
Look at it. Yeah, it's my painting, damn it. You can take your ball and go to your house.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, 100%.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah. I can't tell you the number of times where somebody's, typically it doesn't get under my skin, but occasionally it does. And I just have this thought of just like, what if I just closed all this up and just went and flew? Like, this doesn't feed my children, right? Like, this takes time away from my sleep. And it's just so funny. Like, I do it because I'm passionate. I told you this.
Like, I had a guy, my haters are my biggest fans because they watch every video. But I got into something with some guy in one of the groups. And this guy says, "Listen, if I ever come across you under goggles, I'm going to run up and sucker punch you while you're flying." What? Where is this coming from, bro?
Why?
For real? Why? Because of something I said in a group or something you said that I said something back to or whatever. Seriously? And I said to the dude, "Okay, here's what we'll do, bro. I will buy you a ticket to China. We'll go down to my local gym and get the gloves on, but I get to vlog the whole thing." And he unfriended me.
Yeah. Look, I've had a few people come after. I've had a few people come after me, just get really nasty and really like pissy with me, and like, but in Facebook, it's just like sometimes I just think Facebook is like it's like the community wouldn't exist without it, but at the same time, I'm just like, God, this can be toxic. And so there's one time that sticks out where one guy just came after me. I don't even remember who it was. And I was like, and I woke up to it, and like I pull up Facebook, and I don't pull up Facebook in the morning anymore. But I pull up Facebook and I look, and this guy has lit me up in multiple groups. And he's pissed off, and he's angry, and he's like cussing at me, and I'm like, all right. I got you. So I message him on Messenger, and he responds, and he says something like, "Fuck you." I'm like, okay. And I message him back. I'm like, well, if you want to get in my face, you can get in my face. And I hit the video call button. I'm sitting right at this desk. I got the phone right here, and I hit the video call button, and he hangs up.
Black.
He won't answer. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, you want to be in my face? Let's go. Like, you can scream at me as much as you want, but you're going to do it to my face. And I call him again. And I ended up calling him a third time. He was like, fuck you, I'm driving to work. And then he blocked me. I'm like, you pussy.
Keyboard warrior.
Yeah, I'm just like, I shouldn't use that word.
Or, you know, like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Bruce is one of my heroes, right?
He is awesome.
Bruce is like, I mean, the guy's like 70 years old. He's dealing with Parkinson's, everything else. You know, I'm no spring chicken. And sometimes I think, you know, do I really need to buy, you know, the new Tango 2 at my age? And then I look at Bruce and he's like 70 and still flying with his friends and just having a ball. And I'm, yeah, I do need that new radio.
Yeah.
You know, he was like one of my biggest inspirations to get when I got over what we call the bench crashes.
Yeah.
You know, that hump that you go through when everything, you can't get the firmware to work and you just want to, throw everything out the window. Anybody want to buy this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, what's funny is he is, ever since, you know, he kind of pimped my channel out at one point. And ever since then, I think he might watch at least some or all of my videos. And, occasionally he'll comment here or there. But man, when I started putting out flight edits, it's just so funny because like sometimes he'll come in and be like, man, this is great. Thank you for this. And then sometimes he comes in and just trolls the hell out of me. It's like I am being trolled by Bruce.
Like he does a run camera. Yeah, right?
Right.
He does a run camera on. That shit just kills me.
Yeah. It's he's such a great guy. We were actually talking back to that whole Bardwell, Simpson, and Ruby thing. We were trying to do it on a Saturday night, and Bruce was like, "Nope, that's my Sunday morning. Sunday's a fly day. I won't do it." I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I was like, "Well, can we do it Sunday night? That's Monday morning your time." He was like, "100%." I mean, it's just, you know, like, hey, here's my priorities, right? And flying is at the top. So, anyways, I don't know where we were going with
total. This. I do not give a hoot.
Yeah.
Guy.
He's great. But that's also, I think that's also the reason he has so much credibility. He doesn't pull punches, and he does not have a dog in this fight, as it were. Right. Like he talks about, you know, his ethics and the things that he does and he won't do. And, you know, I've talked to a few reviewers and everybody has a different bent on it, but his is probably the most rigid.
There's very, very few people out there right now that have been flying or have the depth of knowledge that guy has.
Yes, yeah, unbelievable.
50 years. I mean, he flew back before when they had planes on a string and spun around in circles.
Yeah.
You know, literally on a string, you know, line flying.
Yeah.
You know, in 72 hertz where you had to stick the little crystals in and put a flag and pull out your 8-foot antenna to tap your buddy on the head with when he wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Look, I'm here to tell you, it is not easy to even do what I do, which is just talk to people, chop up a couple videos, and put it on YouTube. For the folks that are truly deeply engaged in FPV, that are producing content, producing products, selling things, all of that, it's hard. I mean, it straight up is hard. It's not like anybody just hands this to you, right? You have to work for it. And, you know, I'm glad that Skidoosh really kind of touched on that. I think that a lot of us sit back, me included, sit back and kind of look at the content that we consume and the hard work that people put out, and we criticize it without realizing what goes into it. We say it's too expensive without realizing how much money went into the investment to bring that thing to the market. Think twice when you go to criticize, and enjoy what we have. Talk to y'all soon.